Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. All right, so the score was 128-122. The overtime game. The Lakers won in Phoenix for our fourth installment of the preseason, and my voice is not doing it justice. I got a little bit of a sore throat, but that was an absolutely spectacular finish, just like the last win we had in Milwaukee. We had a rookie take over again tonight. Dalton Connect. 35 points, 8 out of 13 from behind the arc, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, something like that. It was one of them ones where you're sitting up saying, yep, we got us one, LA. We definitely got us one. This was it. Anthony Davis had 35 points as well. Most of his came in the first half. Most of his came in the fourth quarter and in overtime. Dalton Connect had like 20 straight points for the Lakers. 20 straight points, y'all. At one point, it was just us giving him the ball and him lighting it up from behind the arc. And you got to give credit to the guys who were on the floor with him in garbage time. Specifically, Traore and Jackson Hayes. Their length and their energy really helped complement his scoring. Jalen Hood-Schifino had a bad shooting night, 1 for 9. It was really ugly a good majority of the time, but I thought he grew up some tonight in some key moments where he was asked to be the point guard for the team down the stretch. And even though the shots were not falling, I thought that the experience that he received tonight was extremely important for him going forward, especially since he was struggling mightily over the last 2 games and through 3 quarters in this game. But in the fourth quarter, he was able to just be sturdy enough to make sure that Dalton got the ball. And Dalton took us home. He took it completely over. I don't know, man. I was sitting up watching this fourth quarter, and I'm sitting here saying, is this the next player that's going to go up in the rafters for the Lakers? Like, that's legitimately the thought that was coming to my mind. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding at all, man. I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, that's Laker great stuff. This is like the type of energy that you get from a Kobe Bryant when he gets hot and stays hot. We're not used to this, man. and look, there are other players you're going to compare him to that are not named Kobe Bryant, but I'm talking about just a guy getting hot and staying hot in your uniform when it matters most, completely taking over the basketball game. No superstars on the floor, but he killing it. Shooting 3-point shots over Bol, who has like a 8.2 standing reach, 9-foot standing reach, something crazy, shooting over this man's outstretched arms. I mean, Dalton Connect was ferocious tonight. I cannot stress this enough. He was absolutely and utterly spectacular. And we don't win this game without every single one of his shots. We don't win this game without his absolute and utter killer instinct. We don't win this game without his high efficiency shooting and rebounding. And his length. I thought he did some good things defensively as well. There are a lot of people to talk about in this game, and I tried to pay attention to the stats as much as I could at the end of the game, but really my only real reaction to the game is, my God, we got us one. This is a real killer, an actual killer. I would love to tell you I'm surprised, but I'm not. And if you've been following me, we've known that he was capable of this type of thing since the NCAA tournament. This is a very special basketball player who can shoot the ball with the best of them and tends to light it up when asked to light it up. When he's asked to go be the man, he was the man in Tennessee. And as I told you guys, I'm not really impressed with him when he's scoring 16 points and other things like that, because I feel like he can roll out of bed and get 20. This is what I was talking about. At one point, early on when I was doing homework on this player, I told you guys, I was like, he reminds me of a real heat maker. Like, I compared him to a guy like Cam. Not Cam. What's his name? Cam Thomas. It is Cam Thomas over there in Brooklyn. In the sense that he can get hot and stay hot, and like just ring together shots over and over and over again and not stop. Like, he has that type of motor when he gets going, and that's exactly what you saw tonight. Is what I had in mind when I said that. Not knowing that he would ultimately be a player that fell to us in the draft. At that time, it was looking as if he was going to be a top 5 player in the draft. And there's a lot of teams who were wishing to God they did not pass him up, as they saw him light Phoenix up on the road in this preseason game that went into overtime, and he carried his hot hand into overtime. you got to give the Lakers credit for not turning the ball over tonight. No turnovers in overtime. I think 9 turnovers on the game. I thought that was one of the best turnover games we've had in a long time. So you got to give credit there. It really was not a pretty game throughout the meat and potatoes of it. We were down big, sort of like Milwaukee. Going through the motions, shooting poorly, shooting too many threes. I thought we, throughout the third quarter really started looking as if we weren't going to win the game. It was kind of rough out there. I thought Austin Reeves was fantastic tonight. This was his best preseason game, 18 points, 8 rebounds. I thought he was very impactful, very efficient in the first half. Definitely was a shining guy out there. It's noteworthy to say that Bron and Rui did not play tonight, so it kind of left us at a disadvantage defensively a lot of the times, specifically early on when they were shooting over us, as I talked about at halftime. And the game looked like it was in the bag for the Phoenix Suns. Through 3 quarters, it didn't look like we really had a whole lot going for ourselves, and we were struggling, and it was rough, and we were frustrated, and we were rolling our eyes. We did see number 41, Olivari, check in for about 2 minutes. He tried to shoot a shot over KD, got blocked, and then got set down. So his rope is not very long on this team, as we know. Bronny was out there a lot. You know what I mean? Bronny had a plus 17. You got to give him credit. Didn't try to do too much. Had a couple shots fall for him. One was a goaltend that was done. Another was a situation where he followed up his own miss with a offensive rebound and layup. I thought a couple things fell our way in regards to Bronny James. A couple calls that could have went a certain way didn't go that way. We were very thankful for that, particularly KD. What looked like a clean block, but they called it as a foul, and we liked that. Then there was another situation where they could have called a flagrant foul on young Bronny for undercutting Bridges from the Suns, but ultimately they didn't call it that, and we were thankful for that. Thankful Bridges is healthy. Bronny showed some good sportsmanship there as well. So, he had a plus 17 on the plus minus tonight, and that's exactly what is needed to get him out of the hole that he's in. As the worst player in the league statistically or whatever. So I thought he went, this was very big for that. This night was very big for that. What else was there to say, man? It was some things there. I think we attempted about 43 threes tonight. I thought the 3-point diet was a little much, only because we were trying to follow what we did in the first quarter, where Anthony Davis hit like 4 out of 8 threes. And throughout the course of the second and third quarter, I thought we were forcing it, trying to be, more or less following that hot hand. It just didn't work for us. A lot of Cam Reddish playing with a lot of energy, but he was jacking up some shots that I thought were ill-advised for who we want him to be. I thought he helped us defensively at times, but it wasn't great shot diet for him tonight. Max Christie, kind of quiet. Good on the defensive end, though. He was hounding the hell out of people. I thought he held up very well on the defensive end. Gabe Vincent, don't really remember seeing him too much, although I do know he was out there. It's just not his performance wasn't particularly standing out tonight. I thought he had a pretty quiet night for his standards. And as I told you guys at halftime, that I thought Dalton Knecht just wasn't shooting enough. He had came in, hit a shot, and then we didn't see him no more. And it was like, well, where is he at? And then here comes the fourth quarter. We check him in, put him in there with some of the other guys that were hopefuls, and he saw one fall, saw another fall, and the next thing you know, he's going full Kobe. Down the stretch of the basketball game when you need him the most, he just couldn't miss. And the shots he was hitting, just 3-ball from every angle, just 3-ball. And, he put it on the ground a couple times. Made some mistakes with his footwork. He's going to have to work on fast break situations a bit more. He would have had 45 if he would have been, a bit more polished to where he's going to be going forward. Got to work on those fast break points. I don't know where we finished, but at the half we didn't have any fast break points. So I'm pretty sure we did not kill it in that particular category as a team. But, some of the missteps that you saw Dalton make, and then looking at the type of game he ends up having, when he shores up some of these issues that are ultimately there, this dude is going to be ridiculous. And as I said many times, leading up to the start of this preseason, his talent level is going to push him past some of the dudes on our team. I understand we want to see if he's good enough, quote unquote, to put in the top 9 rotation. But I'm telling you, he's probably our third or fourth best player, period. I said that before this even started. So, like, I already knew. When you do homework on players and you study the draft like I did this year, you're not going to be too surprised at some of the stuff that the young fellas are doing. And when it comes to Dalton Connect, I already know he has this in him. And I told you many times that I thought he was going to be spectacular for the Lakers, particularly behind the arc. And that's what you see. I don't know where he's going to land in the end. You know, obviously we got a long way to go. This is just the beginning of his career. But I can't think of too many people that the Lakers have drafted that are more talented shooting the rock from behind the arc. Not in my lifetime. I can't think of too many. D'Angelo Russell probably comes to mind. Obviously, Kobe Bryant is different. He's in his own bag. He's in his own category, obviously. We don't even compare him to nobody. But, like, when it comes to three-point shooting, I do think that's probably the most talented three-point shooter we've ever drafted. And tonight you saw what it was. So this is going to be the beginning of something, Laker Nation. And, you know, I don't doubt that there's some things we have to work on. His handle's not great. His on-ball defense needs to improve. But I love his offensive rebounding prowess, as we talked about 2 games ago, where he had 6 offensive rebounds. He's had some cold nights, but in the last game before this one, he found a way to get some shots going after having a cold night. And, you know, we're seeing a theme here. 2 nights in a row where he's starting to find his moments down the stretch of the basketball game, regardless of what the score is. In the last one, it looked like he was getting, you know, money shots in garbage time. But in this one, during those same minutes, he's getting his shots up and it's crunch time because the game is closer. So it's like he's just a fourth quarter killer. And, you know, you could see how the team was rallying around him. It was the same way they rallied around, you know, Olivari against the Bucks. And my thing is, this is what we need. We need those two to be given more roles. I understand that Olivari didn't have the greatest game. I also understand he was only out there for 2 minutes. And he showed the same killer instinct in a different way. So you figure these are 2 new pieces that you don't really know what they can do in Olivari and Dalton Connect. I don't want to be married to some of these dudes that we're doing politic ball with when I got 2 fourth quarter killers that didn't show me what they can do over the last 3 games. Dalton Connect tonight, Olivari 2 games ago. I mean, keep them both, man. This is the future of the Lakers. Half of the stuff that we got on this team don't even need to stay, man. Let's just be honest. We got something new going on, and now we got to try to find a way to have it or incorporate with our core, and then shave off all the stuff that ain't no good, man. Let's just be honest. Some of this stuff ain't no good. And now we found some really, really, really special gems here. So we know who to keep. We know who to get rid of. We know who we can't get rid of. But at the end of the day, we should be excited. Laker Nation should be extremely excited about Dalton Connect. And if they don't make a mistake, we should be extremely excited about Olivari too. And so that's how I feel about it, man. This was a fantastic night for our rookies and our young players. I would have loved to see more Max Lewis tonight. He came in for 2 minutes as well. Didn't see him again after that. No Colin Castleton tonight. But, you know, this was about Dalton Connect. Connect 4 went absolutely nuts. 35 points, 8 out of 13 from behind the arc. Highly efficient three-point shooting night. And this is just a taste of what he's going to give us. I actually didn't think he played especially great tonight, to be honest with you. And that's going to sound crazy to y'all, but, like, I really don't think he played especially great tonight. There were some things I'm sure he would love to have back. But the three-point shooting down the stretch and in overtime, that's who you drafted. That's why he was probably supposed to go in the top 7. And the NBA dropped the ball, and we picked it up. So I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be more excited about my young player there. He's, of course, getting the game ball. There's some people to talk about on the Phoenix Suns side. A guy like Ryan Dunn played a pretty good game. Gillespie, that played with the Denver Nuggets last year, he's going to make a name for himself in Phoenix. He hit some big shots. Obviously, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, they put on the show. Bradley Beal and shaved off like 20 pounds. He looks like he's in the best shape of his life. You know, I didn't really glance too much at their stats, but they definitely had a good shooting night for the most part on their home floor and probably thought this game was in the bag. But you got to understand, Dalton Connect is not a third-string guy. We're just using him that way because he's a rookie. The reality is he's probably one of our top 5 players on this roster right now. And when he's playing like this and he's shooting like this, you see what it is about. You see exactly what it is. He's a go-to guy. He is a go-to guy. And teams are going to have to deal with us. I'm going to be honest with you. If this guy is going to be this way this season, it changes the dynamic and the overall ceiling of this roster. It really does. When you consider Bron, AD, Rui, Austin, all these people are not on the floor, and he out here getting 35 in garbage time minutes, or rather down the stretch in the closing minutes of the game when you need him the most. It's not garbage at all when the score is close, but like down the stretch of the game. That's what I'm trying to say. And going into overtime, you could just go to him and he brings you home. When was the last time we had a situation like that where our stars weren't the ones bringing us home? Like, you got to deal with this dude. And this ain't a blip. This ain't just a one-time thing with Connect. I'm certain of that. This is what he's going to do all the time. All the time. And the fact that this was on TNT, now the whole world's on notice. They know. If they don't know, they're going to find out very soon because he's not done doing this. And the fact that your rookie did this on the road, on a big stage, should really tell you that he's built for being a Laker. Not everybody's built to be a Laker. We know that. Some people have the jitters in this uniform. Obviously, he doesn't. Not at all. And four preseason games into his rookie season, we already know he's legit. And I mean, that's just that's the truth. So, congratulations to Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss in drafting this young man. And like I said, there's more to talk about in regards to this game, but I don't think any of it really is going to stand out more so than just Dalton Connect put the whole world on notice. And we're going to be better for having him on the team for sure. Especially since his defensive production is starting to improve. His length is starting to allow him to get deflections and steals. His rebounding prowess allows for him to help you in other areas. So even if the shot isn't falling, he's already shown you he can do other things. So I'm thrilled. I think this could be the rookie of the year. I really do. He's got as I said before this even began, he has as good a shot at winning rookie of the year as anybody because he's in a situation that's going to allow him to get the shots up. The role that he's going to be in is going to allow for him to have the usage. And as he continues to show how talented he is, he's going to find out he's one of the best players on the team. So coach is going to have to play him. That's what it really comes down to. And a lot of rookies in this league, they don't have that type of circumstance. They really are the 12th man on the roster. You know what I mean? Like, Dalton is not. Dalton is better than half the people that coach thinks he wants to use. You know what I mean? That's the God's honest truth. So that's why I think this is somebody who could potentially be rookie of the year. We got to keep him healthy. Got to keep good defensive players on the floor with him. Like I said, Traore and keeping length on the floor with this guy is a very good decision because he has length in it and it helps him. So all he needs people to do is play defense around him, a steady point guard to get him the ball, guys who can run screens. And you saw the offense working and clicking the way it needed to, creating opportunities for him to get the ball in spots that he could operate in. And that's damn near anywhere, basically, around the perimeter or in the mid-range. He has that as well. And he's explosive. He almost dunked on somebody, didn't he? I want to say he tried to dunk on someone tonight. I think it was Yusef Nurkic. He didn't get the jam home, but he sure looked like he was close to putting that man on a poster tonight. Earlier in the game, before he even got started with all that heroic stuff that he did in the end, man. Putting on his Kobe cape. I'm telling you, man, Connect 4 is going to be somebody that you're going to buy his jersey. That's what it really comes down to. You're going to buy his jersey. He's one of them dudes. He is not a role player. He's not somebody you bring off the bench for too much longer. He's somebody you start moving things around to make sure that he fits on the roster very, very nicely in that starting lineup. That's who he is, Rob Pelinka. That's exactly who he is. So, LeBron and AD have a brand new toy. I know they're extremely excited about this kid. You could see it on their faces as they were watching him go crazy. This is going to be a different dynamic this year. This is not Torian Prince, ladies and gentlemen. That is not who that is. So let's move, man. That's all I got to say. Let's move. We got a game tomorrow night. No time to think too much about this one. We will celebrate it. AD secured the game ball for Dalton, and we'll get it to him tonight for sure. But we got a game tomorrow night in San Francisco to finish off our preseason. Bron will most definitely not play in that game as well. He's already been ruled out for that. I don't know if we'll play AD because he played quite a bit tonight, giving us 35 points as well. AD been spectacular tonight. It was his best three-point shooting night. We didn't really have it going in the second half, but that first half we were looking for him a lot early, and I love that for our roster. Just the mentality of our team to make sure that AD's getting all his touches and not thinking twice, especially if Bron ain't on the floor. He needs to be given as many looks as possible, and I thought this was an excellent way to do it. This is exactly what you want to see. And if he would have played for 48 minutes, he probably had 60 points tonight. That's the AD we were hoping to get. That's the AD that the New Orleans Pelicans had for 10 years. This is how you use AD, Darvin Ham. You get him the ball early, and you make sure he keeps touching it. And so shout out to Coach Redick for making AD actually look like AD tonight. We weren't worrying about how he's going to score, none of that. He got his points early. Sometimes it would take entire games to get him to score what he scored in that first quarter. So I really appreciated how we looked for him and found him early. And he had the three ball fall, and it was spectacular to watch. So, you know, this is one of them ones, man. This is one of them ones. We won't soon forget this preseason game, just like we won't forget the Bucks game. And when it really comes down to it, the only two games that we've won in this preseason were because we allowed two young rookie killers opportunities to take over, and they seized the moment. That's what it really comes down to. We don't win no other way. It's the only way. And so I couldn't be more happy with those two wins. Hopefully we can get another one tomorrow night in Golden State, where I'm sure we'll give the rookies more opportunities to play. I don't think we'll see probably AD tomorrow either. Maybe not even Austin. Rui will probably sit since he didn't have it tonight as well. So I don't know. That's just me guessing. But this is a great way to go, man. We definitely want to pile up as much success as possible, whether it counts or not. And this definitely does not count because it's the preseason. We're happy to walk out of there healthy. People we used, nobody picked up any injuries. So that's always a win. But talk about a game we won't forget, man. Dalton Connect. This is the Connect 4 game. This is the game that made sure everybody knew who he was from here on out. And I can't wait to see what everybody has to say about this one, man. I really can't wait to see it. They're going to sing his praises for sure, and rightfully so, man. The dude was spectacular. Could not miss when we needed him at 2-0, and we won the game because of it, man. It looked a little shaky down the stretch because, you know, we were struggling with, you know, with who we had on the floor, to be honest with you, around him. But I thought they did enough to compliment him, and he did the rest, man. He got us home. So, great road victory in the preseason for the LA Lakers. Game ball obviously goes to Dalton Connect 4, fourth quarter killer. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.